Amanda Creamy here. Welcome to Q Sciences. I am so honored to be one of the very first individuals to welcome you to this incredible company and culture. Background on myself, really quick though, I have been with the company for 2 years. I am currently a Gold Ambassador as of the recording of this video. I started actively working with Q in June of 2019. I've been in the industry now for 5 years, which is crazy to say, but I'm also a labor and delivery nurse, a busy mom of a 6 and a 3-year-old, and also a wife. So Q is definitely my full-time gig per se. It is my full-time business. It's a huge passion of mine. It's something that I will absolutely be doing 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. And I think if you've seen the compensation plan, you understand why. So let's go ahead and get started. My goal today is to simply walk you through our launch form, which is one of the very first steps of that launch link that you received from your sponsor. Following this video, there's a couple other links that you'll go through. There is a Google Doc that you'll fill out at the end so we know how to best support you and what specific goals you are shooting for so we can help you get there. And really, then you're onboarded. And beyond that, it is not a good luck. It is very much a let's lock arms and let's run and get to your goals and stuff together. So if you have this printed out, that's amazing. If you don't have a printer, that's okay. I would just grab a scratch piece of paper and make sure that you have some of these different things filled out. So then that way you have everything right at your fingertips. So first and foremost, your ambassador ID number. This can be found in a couple different places, actually. You would have received a welcome email when you first started with Q Sciences like a day or two ago. Go back into there. It will say an ID number there. It's usually about not letters, numbers long. Or if you sign into your back office, underneath of your name, there is letter or numbers there. I can't talk. Numbers there. That is going to be your ambassador ID number. So the reason why that's important is because anytime that you contact Q Sciences, they are going to ask for that number specifically. It is also great to utilize to sign into things such as the Q Connect Pro app. So one thing that we have here is a chat feature with Q. So when you sign into your back office, if you scroll all the way down, you will notice we are online. If they are active online and customer service is up and running, they will ask for that number for that. So make sure you have that. Your start date. The reason why that's important, it's really more so the start month of when you join versus like a specific day. And it's because of our fast start bonuses. So here at Q, you have the ability to earn an additional $500 worth of bonuses in your first full month. So I am recording this in July. So anytime somebody joins in July, whether it's the 1st or the 31st of the month, we know that we have until the end of August to help them achieve those additional $500 fast start bonuses. But because we actually have the ability to have weekly pay here, our goal is to get those bonuses into your guys' pocket as fast as possible, which we'll go over going forward. So whatever month that you started, just know that you have until the following month to earn those bonuses. Your password, I don't know if you guys are like me, but when it comes to passwords, I have 10,000. And so it's nice to kind of write those passwords down so you know what your password is to sign into your back office. Your silver leader, if you don't know yet, make sure you reach out to the person who enrolled you and ask who our closest silver upline is. Once you hit the position of silver here, you actually have a personal liaison at corporate. They are phenomenal. They are a wonderful partnership. That is one thing that I hold tried and true with Q Sciences is that corporate and the field have incredible partnerships, unlike anything else I've ever seen. And so if there's something that customer service can't help you with, make sure that you let your silver leader know, because there are different things that the liaison can do kind of behind the scenes. And so that would be the main purpose of utilizing them. If you are in our European countries, make sure that the email that you receive to provide your ID, your identification, is completed within 6 days and turned back in so your account is not locked. Heading down into the tools here, Our Q Sciences back office is phenomenal. I love the fact that all of my business tools are right there. Now, with that, you also want to know what your personalized website is. When somebody is ready to purchase or join from you, you're going to send them your direct link. Now, if somebody's just perusing and looking at products, I usually send them to qsciences.com. The reason for that is because there's PDFs in there. It's more they're going to receive more information like on the product side, benefits, ingredients, so on and so forth. Whereas your direct link, they're going to be able to see the products and the costs, but not as much detail on the product side. So I send somebody my direct link when they are ready to sign up as a customer or an ambassador. The username that you use to create and sign up for Q Sciences is going to be your website. This is something that you can change down the road if you want to, but just know that it's your username.myqsciences.com that you will be sending people. Beyond that, the Q Connect Pro app, this is an app that is super handy. I always have it at my fingertips because it takes me 5 seconds to copy, paste, and send somebody additional information in a PDF or a video format. What's nice is once you get started, you actually have 30 days of this for free that you can utilize for that. But there's also trainings, there's podcasts, there's tax purpose things where you can track your mileage, write that off. You can take pictures of receipts for your taxes. There's different mindset things. I mean, it's incredible. And then in your back office, you have the ability to run reports. This is something if you don't want necessarily right away, like all of the access to that, you can certainly do the $10 version, which gets you PDFs and videos, but the $50 version, which gets you all of that plus free shipping on your auto ships. Once you hit the position of bronze or above, I definitely suggest that every bronze and above should have that because you are going to need to run business reports, which is really, really cool that we have those available. Now, the app is not something that is required. So if you're not looking at utilizing it at all after the 30 days, just make sure that it's off. In order to make sure of that, just sign into your back office, scroll down. You'll see like subscriptions for app, whether it's on or off, and you can flip it either way. Now, in terms of QPay, I don't know about you, but I like to get paid. So the first thing that I want to make sure that you guys double check on is that you have gotten and signed the policies and procedures. This would have came around the same time as your welcome email. It is a DocuSign, meaning that the policies and procedures you'll read through if you want to, but then you'll electronically sign it. That sometimes gets bumped into like spam. So make sure if you don't see it in your normal email that you check the spam box, sign that, because if you don't sign that, you do have the potential, like I want to say after like a month of not signing it, then you do not get paid and your account is locked. So make sure that you have that completed. Now, in terms of QPay, where you are going to go to get paid, first and foremost, part of your welcome email has an activation for a Hyper Wallet or QPay. And you want to make sure you activate that account in your back office underneath of business resources, Hyper Wallet. That's where you're going to also activate your account and where you can go in and you can either request a card. It's like a debit card if you want that, and or set up a bank account. I personally just have my bank account set up. So when I get an email triggered to me to say, hey, you just got paid, all I have to do is go into Hyper Wallet and transfer the money into my bank account. Pretty slick, pretty easy right there. In terms of staying plugged in, this is something that I very much think allows people to scale the business here at Q the more that they plug into all of the resources and everything that Q Sciences has for them. First and foremost is Q News. In that launch link that was provided for you, there is a link that goes directly into the Q Sciences News Facebook group. That is our corporate page. Every Monday, as you can see here, there is a Q Live at 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. You can alter that to your specific time zone. And Mr. Jake Spencer, our president, and other executive staff members always goes live, and they're very upfront, forward facing. So we understand if there's any shipping delays, or if there's something on back order, or there's new promotions and incentives and products and all these really, really cool things. So I would very much suggest that if however you keep track of your scheduling and your time, add that in every single Monday. Now, obviously, if it's a holiday, it'll get bumped back like a day or so, but make sure it's in your schedule. I understand too that 99% of people here do have full-time jobs. So it might be something that you're working during that time, and it's okay if you can't jump on the live. I would just make sure you're watching it within 24 hours. It's a perfect thing to pop on as you're like driving home from work or to work, to make sure that you understand and keep up to date with everything. Another thing on that same page is Winning Your Thursday with Mrs. Sarah Spencer. That is Jake's wife. She is the forefront of our FFM, which we'll discuss next. And she is amazing. She has a tremendous success previously in this industry, very, very brilliant entrepreneur. And then she brings on other trainers at times to provide different training. So those are every Thursday at 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Our CEO call, this is when you can hear from our CEO himself, Mr. Mark Wilson, every Monday, or the first of the month, really. It's either on the first or that Monday, whichever kind of comes first. Now that is at 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. I love these calls because not only do you hear from Mark and Jake together, they're pretty funny. They're a funny pair, but you hear everything that transpired the month before, like numbers and like how much growth we had and how many people ranked up and how many new customers and ambassadors and all of that stuff, all of those different things that came in. So make sure that that is also on your schedule. You will also notice that every Friday, email or newsletter, a weekly newsletter will populate to your email as well to kind of pick you up to speed. So make sure that you do click that link and you are a part of that group. I do believe that they ask for your ambassador ID now, just to make sure that it is only ambassadors in that Facebook group. Now let's talk about our financial freedom movement. This is something that truly, truly helped our family. We were dealing with a lot of financial strain coming into Q. And because you are provided a free financial coach, you don't even have to be making a dime here. They helped us not only get out of debt, but set us up for true financial success now and for our future. This was something that it took me a couple months to first send an email, just because I'm that person where 10,000 other things are going on, right? So what I would encourage you guys to do is pause this video, send an email, just say, hey, I am a new ambassador with Q Sciences, and I would love to set up a time to discuss, a free, our financial coaching session. I would love a financial coaching session. Somebody will reach back out to you to set up that Zoom and connect you with one of our financial coaches. I want to say that there's 4 now, maybe 5, because we're growing so quick. But it doesn't matter where you are in terms of finances, whether you are great or you are struggling. I really encourage you guys to take advantage of that program because there's nobody else in the industry that has it. Beyond that, we have a CPA here. Craig is amazing to work with, very brilliant in the network marketing industry for tax purposes. We have a credit repair specialist. We just aligned with a lender for when you are purchasing homes. So it's kind of like all wrapped up in this pretty box, this pretty present with a bow on top for you to unwrap and utilize all of the services at your disposal, which is amazing. So another thing too, you can follow them on Instagram if you have that, just FFM, but I would absolutely send that email right now. Now let's kind of get down here too. A couple other things to add you into. One of the links on that launch link is going to directly take you into my team page, which is called Quintessential Wellness. It will ask you a couple questions to get into there, but that is a really good resource page. So there's not a lot of like chatter. There's really not a lot of posts on there. It's really just an area where you can go and gather more information and resources. For instance, since you are brand new into Q Sciences, there is a guide that is for new ambassadors. If you click on that, There's a language document. There's a video that walks you through like your back office. There's a lot of different resources. And then as time goes on, there's more things to help you build your business. So kind of go over there, peruse around that Facebook page per se, because that's going to be a great resource for you. Now, team trainings, this is another one that I would definitely suggest adding into your schedule. We have them every single Monday at 8 o'clock Central. So it'd be 7 o'clock Mountain Standard, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, or if you're in a different time zone, alternate to that. But with our team training, we very much focus also on recognition. Recognition is huge, and we want to make sure that we recognize you for every single effort, whether it's small or big, that you are putting into this business, because we truly want to see you succeed, but also reward you and recognize you for those efforts. So our team training starts out with recognition, and then it goes into about a 15-minute training on a specific topic. Sometimes those trainings are from me, sometimes they are from some of my other very top leaders, and then other times they are from corporate themselves, because we have such powerful partnerships here with Q Sciences that you even have the president and executive staff members and other top leaders who sit on our council who pour into every single team here, which is really cool. So make sure that you guys have that set for every single Monday. If for some reason you are not able to attend, just make sure that, again, it's on your calendar to catch the replay. I always put those replays into the Quintessential Wellness Facebook page underneath of guide and team trainings. So now let's kind of talk about your why. Now on your onboarding Zoom, that's going to be after this with the individual who enrolled you in an edified upline, probably an elite or above within my organization, they're going to go over your why. So if you don't know it yet, this is a perfect time to really sit down and craft that up. Make it really personable to where it is something where you're not going to want to quit. Now, this industry is a roller coaster. I will be honest and upfront. It's a roller coaster. Those emotions can kind of go up and down. Our goal is to kind of keep the emotions level, but here's one thing that I want you guys to think. It doesn't need to be about the money. Money is great, right? If you're like, I want to make $750 extra a month, awesome. What is that going to do for you? What is that going to do for your family? What impact are you going to be able to create for not only yourself and your family and others around you, but maybe even worldwide? Money is amazing, but what is truly going to root you here into Q Sciences to where you can truly make an impact worldwide? We are very much servant leaderships here. That is the culture here, which I love. Again, we're faith and family based first and really serving others. But what is your why that's going to keep you here long term to hit per se those bigger impacts, whether it's like helping in an orphanage or helping 5 families at Christmas, or just really cool things like that, right? So let's talk about, so I want you guys to really think about that. So when you have your onboarding Zoom, you can really get into a deep discussion with your mentor about that. Don't be afraid to share, because that helps us be able to celebrate the wins with you too. Now let's talk about the simple system here. You might have heard that we have a very simple system. It is laid out for you, and this is it right here. First and foremost, our goal is to help you find your first 2 business partners as fast as possible, ideally within your first week's time. Now, what that looks like, once you have your first 2 business partners, you have the ability to already unlock the compensation plan depending on what their volume is. So for instance, let's say Susie signs up and she gets 120 points worth of product. Then let's say Barb signs up and she gets 180 points worth of product. You've already hit your first position, which is builder, because you already have 300 points there, and they are pretty much evenly distributed. So our goal is to help you find 2 and to help your 2 find 2 and find 2. We keep it super simple, 2, 2, 2, so on and so forth. And here's how we're going to help you find your 2. Well, you're already at your launch. So congratulations, you've already completed 1 step of this process. The next step is to set up a couple what we call ribbon cutting events to really start to let your network know what's going on. You've just started a business. What do you have to support them and to serve them? And a lot of this could look like in-person events. It could look like Zoom events. You will discuss that with the individual who onboards you. But once you have those events planned, the goal is to now peak your network. Now, peaking them is pretty simple. You're going to have a list of individuals. We're going to talk about that here in a couple minutes, but I would very much suggest picking up the phone and talking to them, which I know might sound scary, or voice messaging them or voice messaging them. When somebody can hear you say their name coming from your voice and they hear your excitement, doesn't necessarily matter what you say, because people are like, holy cow, she seems so excited. I want to know what she's doing, or I want to know why she's feeling so good. So one of the things that you could say, super easy, straightforward. Let's say I'm talking to Katie, right? I'm like, hey, Katie, this is going to sound super crazy. And I swore I would never do anything like this, but I just partnered with my gal, Amanda, and she's doing really big things with this company that I just aligned with. I think you really need to meet her. This company is insane. The timing, compensation, the products, all of it. She's going to share her story and share also how she did and show us how she did it. Are you free Tuesday at 8:00? Very simple and straightforward, right? But if I practice that a couple times, and you can send it to your sponsor to see how it sounds, practice it a couple times to where they hear your excitement and you're talking about somebody else. That's what's cool. You're not sharing everything. You're not sending a hey girl message or this long of a paragraph. You're not copying and pasting. We actually don't do copy and paste messages here or hey girl messages, because there's a reason why I'm reaching out to Katie. There's a reason for that. And I want her to feel personable with it and genuine. I want to be genuine towards her of why I'm reaching out. Some other great tips is compliment them, like, hey, Katie, I know I wanted to share more about this with you because I know you're so outgoing, you're passionate, you're blah, 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 and adding that into it. Now, I mentioned that we have a guide in the team resource page that is language. That's a great place to start, but also your sponsor is here to help you with language every single step of the way. So let's say we've piqued Katie's interest. Okay, we are on this step right here of piquing interest. And she says, sure, yeah, I would love to tune in. Well, if we already have an event scheduled on Tuesday at 8:00, guess what? I'm going to send her the information. I'm going to follow up with her before the call to remind her, and then I'm going to follow up with her after. But that's how simple it is. And then your sponsor will help guide you through the rest of it. Now, let's say that there's not a call set up. Well, what's nice is you just piqued interest. Now you can edify and connect into a three-way conversation. You can kind of skip this step if you want to and just directly connect to your sponsor. What that looks like is if somebody was edifying and connecting to me, Katie could say, like, I would love to introduce you to my friend Amanda. Obviously, she's been here a little bit longer than me. She's been able to create a 6-figure income. But more importantly, she truly cares about those who enter her organization and wants to help them succeed. I have direct access to her and she can share more. Would it be okay if I added us into a quick chat to introduce the two of us? Katie says, yes, perfect. We got into a chat. You introduce both parties, and then guess what? I would take it away from there. And you get to sit back and you get to learn and earn. It's truly a plug and play system to where now when I guide onto a call or a Zoom, you can sit back and you can take notes. You can learn what questions I ask, which path I take with people. Maybe I'll pull up a couple slides, very different things like that, where you can learn the system along the way without being the expert. I promise you that it can be really easy to cut a lot of corners here and feel like, well, I'm just going to give them all of the information and that's it. But I promise that at some point your business is going to show if you're not following the simplicity of this system. So sit back, allow somebody else to be the expert while you're learning to be that expert. Now, after we have the call, then obviously myself or like your upline will either be closing them as a customer or an ambassador, really just providing the information and seeing which path is best for them, or sending additional information where then we can figure out what path is best for them. So accountability and goals. Having goals is truly incredible here, and really knowing the time commitment that you can put in. For instance, if we're looking here at executive, That's about $250 per month, not including your customer sales. Okay. So if you remember back to the compensation plan, your customer sales are paid in addition to what your organizational volume is. Okay. So you're looking at about 5 hours a week for executive. Um, and when we help you achieve this in your first full month, if not even weekly, since we get paid on a weekly basis, you're going to have 250 set pay plus the $500 bonus. When you're looking at Elite, which is $750 a month, plus now you're starting to unlock the $1,500 bonus, which is amazing. This is around 7 to 10 hours per week. Bronze is around 10 to 15, and silver is 20 plus. As a gold building to platinum ambassador, there's weeks where I'm putting in 40 hours a week. There's other weeks where I'm doing probably 30 hours a week. It kind of ebbs and flows with different things that are going on. But I will tell you, once you are getting towards that silver level income and above, that is full-time. That is full-time. Now let's look back at Elite, because I think this is really cool. Let's say you have a part-time job at Bed Bath & Beyond and you picked up 16 hours a week and you are making $15 an hour. $15 an hour. By the time you kind of deduct all of your taxes and everything like that, you're looking at about, let's say $720, okay? Elite is $750. Like I said, 7 to 10 hours, not 16. And you can really leverage your time based on what you already have going on in life. So if you have a full-time job, you can work this in and around the different hours of your job. Your family, which is always going to come first and foremost, you can work this in around them in sports, and we're all crazy in our own 24 hours, right? Maybe you're putting in an hour in the morning, maybe you're putting it in an hour at lunchtime, and then an hour after the kiddos go to bed. 3 hours a day is amazing. And let's say you do that 5 days a week. Guess what? You're already looking at the hours per week necessary for bronze. Like, how awesome is that? So being able to ebb and flow here with your hours really can truly make an impact when you are coachable and you are consistent, because we know that is a long-term vision. A traditional business all of a sudden doesn't make $1 million the next day. It takes them time and consistency and building from that. So I would really encourage you guys to be thinking of what your 30-day goal is and your 60, but more importantly, your 90-day goal. What do you want from here in 90 days? What about 6 months? What about a year? Dream big, because here at Q, you can. That compensation plan is out of this world, and you can truly do incredible, incredible things. So be thinking about that and share that with the individual who's going to be doing your onboarding Zoom, because you can break down what it looks like to hit each of these necessary levels or not necessary, but each of these levels, depending upon what you want in your necessary time frame. Now let's talk about events really quick. Events are huge, you guys here. They are incredible. One that is coming up is in September 2nd through the 4th. It is our next big business conference. Now, this is where you have next level leadership. You have our executive staff and our president and very, very top leaders of this company training and pouring into you and teaching you actually the business skills necessary to build a successful business here. I have not had anybody come to a conference with me and leave who has put in the skills that they've learned there and left and not like hit a new rank. It's amazing to see the momentum that comes out of convention, especially at our September conference with everything that's coming. You guys are going to want to be there. And I really encourage you reaching out to your sponsor and being like, I want to go to Dallas. Help me get there. How am I going to get there? Because if you are looking to build a business here, you're going to want to be there. And the tickets are almost sold out. This is going to be our biggest conference ever. I also have never seen somebody who is a bronze making $1,700 in a month or more who has never attended conference. I've never met somebody like that. So especially if you're looking to make around $1,700 or more a month here, you're going to want to be at these conferences. So make sure you reach out to the person and ask more about that. Beyond that, there's a lot of local events going on right now because they are so powerful. People are wanting to get out and around people now more than ever, especially after like kind of the isolation we came out of. So depending on where you're at, also ask your sponsor, are there any local events going on? Because how cool is it that you can just invite anybody who's local into one event, and you get to sit back and you get to hang out with them while somebody else presents, while there's samples there. You get to learn along the way and hang out and kick back, and potentially get your first customers and business partners. So make sure you get those on the books too, or get like immerse yourself into them. Now let's talk about the next steps going forward. So when you do your next onboarding Zoom, which after you fill out the Google Doc at the very bottom of the launch link that you got, you will have an onboarding Zoom. Ideally, that is completed from within 48 hours of you joining. So make sure that you get that signed up right away, because we want to help you get money in your pocket right away. There's going to be something called a Fab 5 or an overview Zoom that somebody brings up. It's about 15 minutes long, but this is one of the great opportunities to introduce what you're doing into your network in a short fashion of 15 minutes. And they don't have to be local. They can be literally from honestly around the world. We're in 23 countries now. So I want you between now and then to really start thinking of those people that not only you know, love, and trust, but those people who are powerhouses, those people who are hustlers and go-getters and business-minded entrepreneurs, people who own businesses, people who have been in network marketing currently or previously. Those are the people that we really want to invite into this and get on the phone with right away. I want you to also think about this. If you had $1 million project and you could only invite 10 people to get their eyes on it, like it was like, oh, you can only invite 10, it's going to make you $1 million. It's $1 million project. Who are those 10 people that you're going to get their eyes on? Those are the people I want you guys to put at the very, very top of your list. And then obviously continue to fill that list out. I encourage you guys to not discredit anybody. Don't be looking at your Facebook friends list or your emails, your phone, or thinking of Aunt Susie and thinking, well, she's totally well off. She's fine. She doesn't need this financially. And she is very, very healthy. Or, she uses a different brand. Don't discredit people like that, because I guarantee you there is just a time and a place that they will hear about Q. Let them hear about Q from you, even if now is not the right time, because we know that it's not going to be the right time for everybody on a product and a business side, but allow them to hear from you. So as you're planting that seed and you are showing, you're building that trust and you're staying consistent, and you're here in a year when they're like, yep, now's the time. And they come in here and they like blow up your business. Do it now, share with them now, so they know who to go to when they're looking for something for sleep or energy or discomfort or immunity or something for their kids, or they are in financial distress like I was, and I was searching for something just like Q. I just didn't know it. Also a good analogy for this, as you're going along, is that not everybody's going to say yes, right? It's just life. It's business. Like, not in any business you could go into, not everybody's going to say yes. For instance, let's think about a waitress. If a waitress is going around and pouring coffee, she might go to the first table and the first person's like, yeah, I would love coffee. Go ahead and pour me a cup. Pouring cup. The next 10 people don't want coffee. The 11th person is like, can you come back in 15 minutes? I might be interested. Then she comes back. Nope, still not the time. Comes back. Yep, now's the time. Next 5 people, not interested. And then the next person is like, yes, this is what I've been looking for. They come in and they absolutely blow up one of her legs. Well, I guess you wouldn't do that if you're pouring coffee, but she makes their day, right? So think about that too. And just think of that analogy, like, okay, they're just not interested in coffee today. Next, who can I serve and support? That is our goal here. Our goal isn't to sell anybody on anything. Our goal is to provide the information and to figure out which way we can best support and serve them. And sometimes that day, it's just loving on them and seeing like, how was your weekend, right? It's not necessarily always about Q. So as you guys are scrolling down here, this is a great area where you can just start writing names. If you're like me, where I like to kind of write all of the names down right here, don't discredit anybody, write them down. And finally, to round this out, we do have a rewards program here. I don't know about you, but I'm obsessed with like any kind of rewards program. So we have this on the customer side and we have it on the business side. What I love about this is that the longer somebody is on an auto ship, okay, the more percentage of the product volume that they get. For instance, if it's my third month on auto ship, I'm going to get 10% of whatever PV amount runs. Now, if I shut off that auto ship, I lose all of my points. So make sure that you just push it out, that you never actually cancel your auto ship, and make sure, please, that your customers know that too. Customer support here is phenomenal. Make sure that you are always touching base with your customers. There's more in that in the team page related specific to customers, but the rewards program is very important and very beneficial for both you and your customers. So make sure that you are on auto ship, but same with your customer too. Another reason for that is because I promise you, you're not going to want to run out of product. It's happened to me a couple times. And I will tell you, after 2 days of being off product, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need like all of Q, like right here. I need to like move next to corporate so I can just walk in and like grab some product. So make sure you are on that monthly cycle so you don't run out of product, and make sure, please, that you're providing the customer support on that end too, and letting your customers know about that. Now, on another business front here, I would highly suggest that you go in, manage auto ship in your back office, go business resources, manage auto ship, and set your auto ship from the 1st through the 5th. The reason for this is because you want to make sure that you're getting products in your hands, but you're also getting product that you can sample out at the beginning of the month so you can get new customers and business partners the middle to the end of the month. You want those samples in your hand early in the month. Beyond that, we get paid on a weekly basis. You don't want to all of a sudden have this business blow up under you and all this volume and you not be able to get paid the following Friday because your personal 100 PV order has not gone through yet. So this is also another way to really look into your organization and determine like, okay, where are we sitting this month when people are pushing their auto ships up early? Auto ships run from the 1st to the 15th. However, as a business owner, I very much encourage you to run yours from the 1st to the 5th because it just makes sense in so many different aspects here. So that is it, you guys. The next step is to finish the rest of that link, to reach out to the individual who sponsored you or who is the elite or above who is going to be doing your launch. If you know who that is, and just say, okay, I'm done with all of this. I watched the launch video. I got through all of the link. What's next? And what it looks like next is you guys are going to pop back on Zoom, or if you guys are local, you might meet up, and you're going to be setting up your next type of ribbon cutting events, whether that's an in-person and or like a Zoom. A lot of times people are doing one of each right now. But that individual is also going to be holding your hand. They're going to help you with those messages. They're going to help you reach out. They are here for you every single step of the way. You are not in this alone. And please also know that it is always, always okay to reach out to somebody and say, hey, I'm not sure what to do in this situation. I want to reach out to this person, but I'm not sure what to say. We are always here for you. There's no silly question, and you are always more than happy to, or I am more than happy to also help you too. So feel free to reach out to me, Amanda Cramey, like I said, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And again, welcome to Q Sciences. Bye, guys.